Hi dear students, welcome to my channel FMMT Medical Tutorial. This is me, your teacher Sir Farhad. In today's video, I'll teach you about a topic called blood pressure. But before that, my dear students, I would like to recommend you that you must watch my previous video on blood pressure so that your main concept about blood pressure should be clear. So now come to the blood pressure. I have already told you in my previous video that blood pressure is equal to systolic BP divided by diastolic BP, and the value of systolic BP is equal to 120 millimeter of mercury and the value of diastolic BP is equal to 80 millimeter of mercury. But remember my dear students, that everyone may not have this much value of blood pressure. This is an average blood pressure. Now come to this step. As I told you that BP is equal to systolic BP divided by diastolic BP, and in my previous video I also told you that systolic BP has direct relationship with cardiac output and diastolic BP has direct relationship with your peripheral resistance. And I even explained this in my previous video that if cardiac output increased, resulting that will increase your systolic BP, and if the cardiac output of your cardiac output decreases, resulting that will reduce your systolic BP. And I also told you about peripheral resistance, that if it changes, resulting that will also change the diastolic blood pressure. Mean if it increase, resulting this will also increase, and if it reduce, it will also reduced. Now the question is that how when cardiac output changes, resulting it changes the systolic BP, and when the peripheral resistance is increasing, it changes the diastolic BP. Now this question I will explain from this general structure of your heart. Okay dear students, this is your general structure of your heart. This is your right atrium of your heart, this is your left atrium, this is your right ventricle, and this is your left ventricle of your heart. And this is your tricuspid valve, and this is your bicuspid valve, and this is the aortic valve. Okay, so I will explain the question which I told you. When these ventricles contract, these lower chambers of the heart contracts, so this is called ventricular systole of your heart. So during ventricular systole, these ventricles will pump the blood into the arteries. So when left ventricle contracts, it will pump the oxygenated blood into this major artery or called aorta. Okay, remember that at the peak of left ventricular systole, the blood will come from your ventricle into your major artery, and some changes will also take place here in your left ventricle. This bicuspid valve at the peak of your left ventricular systole will get closed, and these aortic will get open, and here will you have blood pressure, systolic blood pressure equal to 120 millimeter of mercury. And with this blood pressure, the blood will be pumped from your left ventricle into your this aorta, and the blood will come here and will spread in different direction and will move in it, and that will stretch the wall, and that blood will stretch these blood vessel wall in this direction. Okay, and with the same systolic BP, the blood will move in this major artery and then will enter to the arteries. And will finally enter to your arterioles, and will finally enter to what? Arterioles of your blood vascular system. Now dear students, come to this point that if the cardiac output is pumped more into your this major artery, resulting this blood vessel will stretch more, and if the cardiac output is pumped less, resulting this will stretch but less, and resulting. Okay, dear students, two main ideas or concept which I would like to clear from this diagram is that systolic BP is the pressure which you record from your major artery here at the peak of your systole of your left ventricle is called systolic BP actually, and the blood pressure which you record here in the major artery, okay, and at the peak of your diastole of the left ventricular, so that BP will be considered as diastolic BP. Enjoyed my video. If you really want to know about my more videos, so kindly must subscribe my channel and press the icon button so that you must receive the message of my new videos. Thank you so much. Bye.